Hi everyone, welcome to Mother Industrialist live show, and today is part two of Crypto 101 for Parents, and I'm the host Kenneth. And today I'm so blessed to have JJ Andy coming back and doing the part two of this series. And for those who have not watched part one, do watch it. I will include the link below in the description or in the comments. Do watch it before. And part one is talking about risk management and what you should know before you begin. So I would urge all of you to really watch part one before you watch this part two. And I would like to share with you that how do I get to know JJ Andy. We know each other for coming to 4 years, and he has been a good friend. And all along, I've known that he has been investing, been trading, and always grew really interested in all that. And he's really patient when it comes to share all this information. And would like to share with you that he's now currently the co-founder and operation director of CryptoGrinders Private Limited. CryptoGrinders, our YouTube channel has grown to 17,000 subscribers to date in just short 6 months. And he's building the human resources and accounting framework for CryptoGrinders. He also interviewed with various founders and advisors of ICOs like Wabi, PundiX, Genie, LiveTree Debitum Network, and he also have more than 5 years of trading experience and 14 months of cryptocurrency trading experience. He has seen how the market grew from 30 billion to 500 billion, now 600 billion, and is constantly growing. And without further ado, let us welcome Andy. Hi, Andy.
Hi,
Welcome again.
Kenneth. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for making time to do this part two series, which is we will talk about how will cryptocurrency and blockchain tech shape the next decade. And before we move into the show, maybe you could do a short introduction about yourself, especially for those who are new and who have not known you. Maybe you can do a short introduction about yourself and how do you get yourself into investment and trading, forex, and now cryptocurrency.
Hi everyone. My name is JJ Andy. I'm the co-founder of CryptoGrinders and operation director of CryptoGrinders. So I've been in cryptocurrency for more than 14 months. And I've seen how Bitcoin went from 700 when I first started to right now 16,000, 18,000. I've seen how Ethereum went from $7.80 right to right now $800. So I've been through that growth. I was part of the community. I was part of the growth. I didn't come in later. I came in slightly earlier than most of the people. But at the same time, I was the one who took in most of the risk at the start because no one knew what was happening. There wasn't many wallet, there wasn't many exchanges, there wasn't many ways to secure your tokens. So even if you think that, what if I could know Bitcoin 2 years ago? Would you get it? Probably not.
Mm.
So same logic. Don't keep saying that. Everything in the world is 早知道, what
Yeah.
if, right? So that's the one idea. But that's me, right? I'm just gonna give you things straight to just letting you know what is the most
Hmm.
important thing here. Yeah.
Yeah, that thanks a lot for the short introduction and also the background how you got started. And just now I like the part where you said that if I know that if I'm being introduced. In fact, I think I did not tell you that in fact I was introduced to Bitcoin when it first started. And I was
Mm,
like, what is this all about? Everything is so new. It was like in the beginning, and the
mm,
technology I basically don't get it. But if I'm never remember wrongly, it's about 3 4 years back
mm,
about that time. So I
mm,
was introduced. I never know about that. I was in ex banker also in one of the local bank. I was doing investment, unit trust, and all that stuff. But when I heard about that, it it really interesting. But you kind of like nobody is like starting any. Then when you started, you were saying that when you started getting into cryptocurrency, it was Bitcoin was how much? You were saying?
about
Uh,
700
hmm.
plus dollars, yeah, when I
Yeah.
first started. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it had grown to thousand, ten or ten of thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like maybe before we start, maybe you can share with us like how will cryptocurrency and blockchain tech shape the next decade? Because this is very interesting. Because with a lot of hype, we cover a lot in part one, like the risk management and what you should know before you begin. And this part two is basically people who are already in, and they would want to have a better picture of the next decade.
Mm.
And when we discussed and we came out with this question, what how will it shape for the next decade? Maybe you can share about like how cryptocurrency and blockchain tech will shape the next decade.
Okay. So I think before we even kind of answer how the blockchain will shape, right, we need to understand what exactly is a blockchain.
Mm,
So to give you an illustration of what is a blockchain, okay, the most simpler way is, okay, there's a lot of different ways to describe a blockchain. You can think of it as a DNA, like a shape like a DNA, or you can think of it like a shape or like a MRT train, like a train, right, with different carriages, right? So it has different carriages. So when you look at it, okay, let me just use my name card here as an illustration. So for this example, right, this particular thing is a block. This is a block as well. Okay. In between, of course, in between my microphone, like at this point in time, the thing that's in between is the cryptographical language that bonds these two blocks together, and it's called a blockchain. So this whole thing is then called a blockchain. Now, then what exactly is stored in a block is determined by who or what the company wants. Okay, so but in general, okay, this is based on Wikipedia. These are the things that this is just sharing with you where you can find the information, all right, or where I got my information. But this is just an analogy. So a block can basically be used for medical records, right? Recording of events, management, activities, identity management as well. So it could store identity in each block. So think of it like different shelving, right? You have different identity of different people you store into this particular block. And this particular block can be accessed by all the different governmental agency all around the world, and they can share this information. So for example, next time when you go to a particular country, say in the US, you just need to scan your passport, don't even need to chop, don't even need to go through the immigration, you can get through because you have your identity stored in the blockchain. That can be how revolutionary it can be. For example, in another situation, you go to say a rural area in maybe Myanmar or or Malaysia or somewhere, right, for voluntary work, and somehow something happened to you and you were sent to a nearby hospital. Being in a very rural area, okay, there's no way they know the medical records. What if you have certain illness or disease that they're unaware of, and they give you that medication, right? That will have complications. But imagine you have all your data stored in a blockchain, the medical records, and through this blockchain technology that it goes around the world, it's open source, is encrypted in that sense, but the hospitals can decrypt it, and they can access your information on medical records, and at the spot they can see your records and they know who you are exactly with your all your illnesses, congenital or whatever, and they can cure it for you, and they know how to give you the good medication and everything. That is how revolutionizing blockchain can be. I'm just giving you two quick examples here, but the application can be universal. It can be done in many ways. Identity management is one of the big things that a lot of different tokens are trying to address, and of course there are more than that. So usage wise, infinite possibilities. But of course, that being said, not everything has to be on the blockchain, right? Like I shared in the previous series, not everything. A microphone doesn't have to be on a blockchain. So it all depends on usability, all depends on functionality. That's key.
Okay, so you touched on that, and I was thinking that, so when blockchain, why is it so powerful that a lot of companies, huge companies, they are supporting and they are using the blockchain technology?
Well, the thing about blockchain is that it can store a lot of data, and at the same time, it can be secured. All right. You can choose it to be open source, or you can choose it to be a closed source. You could put it in a way that is encrypted, and so that no one can read it, or you can decrypt it, or you can make it open source so that everyone can see whatever transaction that's going on. Okay. Now, the other interesting thing that it's done on a blockchain is Bitcoin was first invented as a currency. Okay, but because of the price and the media attention, now it's more like a store of value. So the initial idea of Bitcoin was that we could send Bitcoin from my country, Singapore, to US in less than 1 minute. And I do it through the blockchain tech. As long as you have a digital wallet here, I have a digital wallet here, I send to you, maybe the fees are only 30 cents. I send $1 million to you, it's still 30 cents. I send you 10 million, it's still 30 cents. So that's the application partly of it, of the currency value of it. But now that Bitcoin has become like a store of value, it's different. Think of it this way. Singapore is quite lucky, right? In many countries, there are no banks, or they have very limited access to banks. Then how do you get the money? So if let's say I want to send to you in the rural parts of maybe some small country, how are you going to receive money when you have no bank, no ATMs? But if you have a phone, you have internet access, you can then gain BTC or you can gain Bitcoin or Ethereum on your phone.
Mm.
And then through your phone, you could then, go and sell it to somebody or somewhere, find your own local exchange or wallet, and then you can sell it off. So that is how groundbreaking it can be. And even I'm just thinking, okay, you could even take out the whole remittance on its own. You don't even need remittance nowadays. You could just buy a token and you can send it to anyone, right? I mean, there are many different foreign people working in Singapore, for instance. You could send it back to your homeland in less than 1 second or less than 10 seconds. That can be done with the blockchain. And that's how powerful it can be.
And you touched on something that that just opened up my mind about blockchain. Just imagine, okay, can I say that if let's say blockchain was not created and Bitcoin was there as a currency, it will not exist.
Blockchain is first created,
Mm.
then comes Bitcoin as a currency.
And
Yeah,
the
so
currency was built on the blockchain of accessibility.
it's a core component of the of the public ledger, like serving to be everything to track all transactions.
Mm.
So the blockchain is the one that tracks all transactions, whereas the currency is the one that writes on the block, in that sense.
Okay. And one thing I suddenly have this idea that is it because of the blockchain technology that is what makes Bitcoin that attractive than other currency? Because of like payment, and also let's say like today I want to let's say I'm in US, you're in Singapore, and when I transact the money, it's in US dollar, and to you it will have to convert into Sing dollar, and sometimes it will take days for to do the transaction, or even I do import export. Is it because with blockchain it kind of help us to save time and also to save money, especially for businesses? Is it that's why the Bitcoin um on the blockchain technology it make it even more attractive?
Yes and no, I would say. One of the reasons is I think you heard of this name, Daniel O'Leary from the Shark Tank. Okay.
Yeah.
He was trying to receive a payment of about 3 million, if I'm not wrong. He was trying out Bitcoin, but he realized that, hey, and the person was sending from Europe to US, and he was thinking, why not I give it a try on Bitcoin, right, on the network itself? So, but he found out that, hey, Bitcoin's price is so volatile that when I received, I got like $30,000 less. So he kind of proven it that, okay, this is not worth it for business transactions. It still doesn't make sense. So there are many ways of looking at things, right? Of course, this is not the fundamental use of it. One of the reasons why Bitcoin is more notified or people know about it is because it's the first token that was created, and then the rest will build on it. It's like the king, okay? The king of everything. The king of fruits is like durian, and then king of every cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. So we acknowledge Bitcoin. But the issue with Bitcoin is that there are still a lot of fundamental issues. I want to go in depth, but the whole idea is there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin in the world, no matter what happens. Only 21 million. There's not going to be more created. You're capped at 21 mil, and it will flow over until 2050 before the whole 21 million is mined. Even at that point, it will still not be mined fully. So just giving you a perspective, all right? I wouldn't want to go in depth into this, really. It's too confusing. But just letting you know.
Okay. So you were saying that the in the whole world until 2050, there's only 21 million, is it? Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to go in depth into this point, bro. Yeah, because then you go into another topic.
So I just want to put it across to the people who are new to really understand that is in this, and like what you say, if they would want to know, they can always research on it.
Yep.
Right. They can always look it up for it, and also and when we talk about, because I see that there's a lot like the technology blockchain is really wonderful because it helps us to maybe save time because transacting that information, and also as internet is more highly accessible to a lot of third world countries, it makes any information, like you were stating, like South Africa where you cannot get access to information because of blockchain technology and with internet. So would I say that the more coverage that the whole world and the whole global that they have access to internet, basically the blockchain technology will advances, and even to not just help businesses or even help people to learn things, because information can just be sent it out like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't remember wrongly, there are many ICO companies that approaches us, CryptoGrinders, for videos, review and stuff. So I think there's this particular company that is developing internet services in South Africa. That's trying to sell internet services on the blockchain, trying to raise funds on it. So, like I say, not everything has to be on the blockchain, but it's happening. Okay, so just pointing out the fact that there's just so many stuff going on right now. Every day in the cryptocurrency world, to me, every day is like a week. Like the speed,
Yes.
every day is like a week. So you gotta process information fast, really fast. Once you miss a spot, okay, the plans keep changing everywhere. You'll see things moving very, very fast. I'm not even kidding about that. So you have to really be always on the ball if you want to be in a cryptocurrency trading or even in the market itself. Yeah, but if you're just a long-term investor or something along that line, I think it's probably okay or better. Yeah.
That's really good advice, and also a very good insight, especially for those who think that, okay, I'm going to come in and I'm not going to look at the news, look at the information for a period of time, and then I come in and I got shocked. Am I right to say that there will be some investor will be like that, or some people who just want to leverage on the hype, or maybe the value that is increasing, and forgo all the knowledge, forgo all the information. Like maybe today suddenly he trade in, after the next moment 1 minute later something happened.
Yep.
And
So I mean, there's many ways. You either come in shock that your value grew, or you come in shock where your value decreased. So there can only be two options here.
Yeah. But in order to have not to have that kind of emotional um effect on you, basically is the knowledge, like we touched on part one, which is to really dive deep into understanding fundamentally, so that that means you were talking about the hand, like you have to refrain yourself from selling when it's falling, the emotional part, and really to grow the knowledge and also the fundamental of what you're investing in. Yeah, that's what we touched on. And you were talking about, like, from Bitcoin, and how did everything leverage on, that means I remember you were sharing with me, like, Bitcoin is like the big brother, and all the other tokens of coins are developed from this big brother. So how did it comes about, like all the other coins or even alternate coins?
Okay. So anything that so there are many different kind of coins, right? It's a topic that I wouldn't want to really go into because there's so many different sub headings. So example, there's a smart contract platform which is Ethereum, and then there's a physical product, businesses that have products that you want to sell. And there's also another sector. You also have decentralized exchange, you have Lightning Network, you have fast transaction token, you have so there are so many things I could really share. You can go endless. But the whole idea here is whatever weakness that Bitcoin had or couldn't do, the other tokens were there to cover it. And a lot of things cannot be built on the Bitcoin blockchain because it's too huge, it's too big. And then so whenever you put a transaction or you put something on Bitcoin, which is still designed as a currency kind of platform, not everything is designed like a currency. Some token has different utility value. For instance, it's used, so for example, like Ethereum, right? Developers have to buy Ethereum so that they could develop the platform itself. Okay, so that is then different. You get what I mean? So other tokens are coming out to actually cover a few of the spots here that Bitcoin cannot do. And all those fork that you're seeing right now on Bitcoin, fork means separation, right? There's a segwit that
F-O-R-K, right?
Yeah, F-O-R-K. So they're basically just a side chain coming out from the main blockchain. So imagine a side chain coming out, that's called a fork. So that's what is happening right now, because Bitcoin's particular coding didn't really highlight about that. So anything can still fork out from it. That's why it's decentralized and deregulated. Yeah. So this is how all the other odds came about. Because someone decided to fork it. Someone decided to use the code, copy it, GitHub on GitHub or something, or Reddit, and then they create their own. You can do that if you have good computing skills. You can do. You could create your own actually. Yeah.
Wow. But it's based on the base, but then you modify it, then it became another.
Based on the base code, yes, you can do that. But there's going to be a lot of work as well. But if you can, you need to form a team with developers and stuff.
So when you say tokens and coin, are you saying the same thing, or tokens and coins are different?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but I would normally call it token rather than coins.
okay.
Yeah. Just when you talk about coin, you give people a wrong impression. Like you need to buy a whole big coin. No, you can buy 0.1, you can buy 0.01. Come on, the days are over. So acknowledge that. You can buy a 0.0005 Litecoin. It's fine. Yeah, so you do that. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that is a very good analogy, and how you explain like the fork, how does it comes about, and what's the meaning of it, and you were saying that like how would it change, like from today in 10 years time, how would cryptocurrency meant for the future? Like for me, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and 10 years later she'll be 18 years old. She'll be like, maybe she'll be able to work and all that. How does the blockchain technology be for them? What do you foresee, or what do you like maybe imagine like in the future for them? And also like the cryptocurrency, is it going to be replacing, like how is it going to be for them for the future, like 10 years down the road? How is it going to shape?
Well, shipping in the future would be tough to say, right? It'll be very hard to foresee how blockchain can revolutionize the world. But one thing that Andrea Antonopoulos always said, he's actually one of the Bitcoin advisors. Okay, he's also advising on Bitcoin funds. Look him up on YouTube. He has great videos, great analogies on Bitcoin and how it will replace certain payment gateway.
What is it, his name again? Maybe you can say it slowly so that...
Andrea Antonopoulos. You can find it on YouTube. No worries. He has a lot of videos. So basically what he has mentioned before is that the economy in the future will be moving towards cashless, cardless, and just token.
Wow.
Right? So we have been through see this is how the whole history of human beings or how money or currency has evolved. Okay. Previously it was entrepot trade. You have a marker pen here, I will trade it for a plug here, for example, right? And then suddenly it go towards gold, right? A certain rock here you can trade or maybe 5 bags of rice, things like that, right? And then once again, when people were switching from gold, example, to cash, they couldn't understand how is this paper worth equivalent to my gold, right? So Andrea brought up this point. Okay, he's a guy, by the way. So he brought up this very valid point. How? But things are changing, right? It's either you adapt to it or you're not. So same thing. How is now a card on its own, okay, so powerful that you can sign a product that's $5,000 and can bring it home?
Oh,
that's credit.
Yeah.
You are not owning the item. The bank owns the item, but you gotta pay back later. So what he's trying to say is that we are moving from cardless even, okay, to next time to RFID. It's moving. You can see it's revolutionizing. RFID. It's QR code. It's just moving. It's just scanning stuff. It's happening. And I can say the next thing would then be payment, right? I could imagine Singapore just opened a new cafe that you can pay via cryptocurrency, right? I think it's on the news. I don't know whether it's in it. But you can just scan a QR code. I can pay using my cryptocurrency. It's happening. And it's based on the market differences. And one of the ICOs I interviewed, PundiX, is trying to bring about that change as well. You could buy Bitcoin and Ethereum in cafes, in art gallery nowadays. So PundiX is pushing for that as well. So many interesting things are happening. It's just that whether we are aware of it or not. But that's what Andrew is trying to say. He's trying to say that the change is always the toughest, but humans are always improving, right? The change of currency and stuff like that. So as we move towards cashless and cashless and cardless, the next point will be tokens. Will be something that is digital. We cannot see, but it's there.
In fact, when you touch on this thing, is also I relate back to the mobile devices that we are using. Like in the past, we have like Nokia's phone, which is still on buttons and stuff like that. But now most of our phones are smartphone, which is touch screen. Even sometimes now you can unlock a phone by using Face ID. That everything is evolving. So like even for currency, I guess if I never remember wrongly, I read an article. They talk about the currency have not evolved ever since don't know how many hundred years. And now because of Bitcoin, blockchain technology coming in, is changing, is that means the whole currency world is changing, is evolving. And you bring out a very good point, is every evolution is enhancing. for human mankind.
Yeah.
And like when we go cashless, when we go cardless, it's convenient, it's time.
Yeah.
Like how Uber and Grab, they help us to save time.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, any technology or any advances or any innovation basically help us to enhance our lifestyle. And
Yeah.
because our lifestyle are changing.
Yeah. And I mean, humans most likely most of the time will resist change. And therefore people who are very skeptical will say like,
Mm,
Bitcoin is a scam or whatever not.
mm,
But when you really think about it, it's here to stay. That's
mm,
one, blockchain is here to stay, therefore Bitcoin will be more or less here to stay as well. It's just depending on the speculative
mm,
value, right, of
yeah.
it. And at the same time, it's like when people were in the horse carriages, in
Mm,
London, example, right? They were laughing at people who were on a steam
mm.
engine car. Same logic, right? And then when the steam engine car kind of slowly replaces the carriage, the people in the steam engine car were laughing at those in the horse carriages.
Yeah.
It's the same logic. You're just moving. People resist change. But
Mm,
when you understand what technology and how fast it's changing, you are changing phone every 1 or 2 years. Get that?
yeah.
So it's so moving so quickly, so fast that it's so tough for you to go and understand everything. But
Yes.
sometimes when it takes so much time to understand, it paralysis, right? Over
Yes.
analysis. So
Yes.
so so here's the idea to me is I'm open-minded. I'm always open-minded. I'm just
Mm,
reading and researching more, and I
yeah.
get the point, and I just go for it. That's for me. Yeah, but this is how you really should look at how
Mm,
the whole economy and world is shaping right now.
yeah.
And few years down the road, things could change drastically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you bring out a point which is like in the past, how history, and when we look back, in fact, whatever is that is happening now is not new. Like the evolution, revolution, whatever you call it,
Hmm.
everything is changing.
Yeah.
But just now, because technology is so advanced, and with the speed of internet nowadays, information are moving so fast that like in the past we have like maybe recession every 10 years, but now it's getting shorter and shorter because of
Mm-hmm.
the information being distributed
Mm-hmm.
faster. And that's where I wanted to do this crypto 101 for parents. Why do I particularly into parents? Because a lot of us, like you were saying, that
Mm.
we resist change even for parents. Imagine
Uh-huh.
like the smartphone that we are holding now. If our grandparents were to see what is this item over here,
Mm.
and you'll be, are you saying that you can listen? It's a player, it's a radio on my time, it's also a TV on my time, and I can switch channel, I can do a lot of things with this gadget over here, which is crazy to them.
Yep.
And they may not be able to evolve with it, they may not be able to understand. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing for why we want to touch on this, how it's going to shape for the next decade, is not just for us, especially for me as a parent. Now, in the next 10 years, I may not be able to catch up, but I need to understand all these things, be able to shape or maybe to create a better future for my children, because that will be their time. Their time will be the era that is going to consume all these things, like the blockchain, like the cryptocurrency. Like
Mm-hmm.
why are millennials, they are so into social media? Because that is their form of communication. Like in the past, our form of communication, maybe like recently my friend was telling me about pager. Like in
Mm-hmm.
the past we were so crazy, wow, pager we find is so hype. But before pager there wasn't anything, and after pager there was mobile phone, which is like a water bottle size. So
Mm-hmm.
things keep evolving, and if we look at our mobile phone, every time it's changing. And for us now, those who are in the 30s, the 40s, we are in the
Mm-hmm.
transition between the analog and the digital, and we are caught in between. But for our children, like my daughter, when she was 2, she was like swipe. Already when she's born, she's exposed to smartphone,
Mm-hmm.
iPhone, Android tablets, and all that stuff. She was like like doing touch screen. And there was one day she went to our LCD TV screen. She went over there and do the swiping movement. And basically she just showed me, like she brought me to her time, like time travel. Because in when another 10, 20 years time, she'll be in her 20s, she'll in her time, the TV will be able to be something that she can touch and swipe very conveniently, and she may don't even need to swipe it. She may
Mm-hmm.
even use voice recognition,
Mm-hmm.
voice control, everything. So things is going to be different for them. And what are we parents going to prepare for them? which is to understand all these things and preparing them, and not reframing them say, hey, you should not get into social media, you should not get into digital product, digital gadget and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Not reframing them from that, but to understand how is it going to profit for them. That is
Mm-hmm.
where I believe that this blockchain and cryptocurrency is information that a lot of parents will need to understand. And I'm really thankful, Andy, for sharing all these things. And anything that you want to add on, especially on the cryptocurrency, how it's going to shape any other additional stuff that you will want to cast it out to the audience that is watching this, how is it going to shape our future from now to 10 years later?
Well, the whole idea here is like one of our mentors always say, right? It's better to know it when you don't need it, than to need it and not have it. So knowledge and information is something that you must have, no matter what, right? To
Mm,
make a proper and solid idea decision, right? So if you want your kids to learn the right financial, in terms of financial matters, in terms of investing, from you, then you have to play the role as a parent to learn it first.
mm,
Then they could see a model after you to see
mm.
how you actually do it. So to me, is you first got to dive in. This is not like a swimming pool, when you test how cold the water
Mm.
is. It's just jump in, right? And then get lost with it, right? I was lost initially. I had nobody to help.
Mm.
Google doesn't have much information back then. Come on, right? But we figured it out. How we had that desire to make sure we knew
Mm.
everything. So when people ask me nowadays, so how do I do this? How do I do this? Go Google. Come on, go Google. Back my time, I have nothing. So why are you still complaining when you have? So like if you were to ask me a very basic question, simply Google it.
Yep.
Google it. You don't know, you could ask me.
Mm,
But if you don't do your due diligence, you don't do your own research, then that will affect your decision. So all I'm trying to say here is practice due diligence and decide whether this is for you, this market is for you or not. That's it.
Wow, wow. Thanks a lot, Andy, for sharing all that, and also to really advise what, especially for parents, what we have to do our due diligence and also get information. Sorry. Yeah. So really thankful, and for what you have shared. And any last advice for those who are looking into cryptocurrency, and those who are investing at the same time at this point of time, especially when you talk about um, blockchain technology is going to stay. What's the advice for them?
Well, blockchain will be here to stay. Not all currencies are going to be here to stay. So you got to practice your due diligence, like I say. You got to do your research. If you're not familiar, just stick to those that are always appearing on most of the exchanges or most of the simplest wallet. Understand that new money, new people are gonna come in, and the
Mm.
only few currencies they are seeing, I won't say which one because then you think I'm giving you advice here, but just understand there's only a few that's most of the time exposed.
Mm.
Just hold, or just get those if you need to, and then that's it. So that is if you want to just invest, right?
Mm.
Now, if you want to trade, that will take more time and understanding. So you gotta go do your own due diligence. For those who haven't come in, you need to decide whether this market is for you. Things can go
Mm.
100% one up, one direction. The first day, next day can go down 70%. So it all depends on whether you have the heart and experience to take it. That's it from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andy, for covering on those who are in and those who are going thinking of coming into this cryptocurrency world. So how do the audience get to connect with you? Maybe you
Okay.
share with us. Yeah.
So you could find us on CryptoGrinders.com. Of course, we also have our own Facebook page and Facebook group. We are also on YouTube, CryptoGrinders.
Mm.
So find us on YouTube. We have a lot of great videos there that you can watch and you can learn from. And please try and understand how this whole industry works first before you even try and get in the first place. That's really important. Yeah.
Mm. Thanks a lot. And for those who are
Thank
watching,
you.
yeah, and those who are watching it live and those who are watching in replay, I will include all the links to connect with Andy. I will include it in the description and also in the comment section. Do check it out. Do connect with him. You can ask him any question, and also do go to their CryptoGrinders YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos, really valuable information there, especially for those who want to know more about cryptocurrency, the world, blockchain, and all that stuff. You can go to their CryptoGrinder YouTube. A lot of videos, and they are constantly updating. And at the same time, thanks for those who are watching. And if you have any questions regarding cryptocurrency, regarding about the blockchain technology, do post it in the comment section. Me and Andy will really be more than glad to share with you the answers and even to even guide you along the way. Or if not, you can personally connect with Andy with all the links that will be putting it in the description and comments. And really thanks Andy for all the time making time after the long day to really come online to share with all the audience about blockchain, about cryptocurrency, and also for this special episode, Crypto 101 for Parents. Thanks a lot, Andy,
Yeah, thank you.
and really hope to bring you up again. For those who really have questions, do comment it below. And now, last but not least, Kenneth here signing off with Andy. Thank you for watching this series, and do watch part 1 and part 2 at the same time. Thank you very much, and I see you guys really soon. Thanks, thank
Okay.
you, thanks Andy, thank you,
Yeah,
bye
thank you.
bye.
Bye.